Civic. Coming up behind the slower cars, Jim Richards starting to loom now as the potential man to watch in this field.
Brock will be furious, but I'll bet in one respect he's happy he didn't bend a brand new car.
You're right there.
Brock, in fact, is coming into the pits.
We'll get that for you shortly, but in the meantime, we'll watch this great scrap between two drivers who are attacking this round here at Calder with everything today. Robbie Francevic, who lives, of course, in New Zealand and is over here to campaign this turbo Volvo for the Touring Car Championship, and an expatriate Kiwi who leads it in Jimmy Richards. Steve Masterton's car, whatever the problem was, they've been able to rectify it. It is back in the race.
Yes, he lost a couple of laps in the pits, though, so he's really out there now to get the car sorted out for the future rounds of the Touring Car Championship and the Endurance Championship to come. Francevic continues to lead under pressure from Jim Richards and Dick Johnson. Alan Jones tucked in behind them in fourth place in the little Alpha, doing a mighty job.
Well, a very quick pit stop for Brock, and he goes back out after losing probably a lap and a half. And here's where the action is in the Touring Car Championship. The Eurovox radios around here today. Oh, and a little tap from Jim just to get Robbie sorted out through Glowweave Corner, and a run down the straightaway again. Johnson still in the draft, running in third spot, and it would appear that Neville Crichton
has
back
got
behind
past.
them.
Yes, he's got past Alan Jones.
And hasn't that Volvo got some straight line speed? Doesn't handle all that well, but they are hopeful of rectifying that. In fact, Mark Petch was telling me only earlier today they've got the engine just about right, and they're allowing Robbie to do most of the development on the chassis. They feel that he really has to live with the way the car is set.
He's the man that drives it.
And a man close to us, Derek Heiler, has been helping with it as well, giving him some advice. Must have paid off for him because he's up front leading.
Well, handling was going to be his worry around this circuit, but he seems to have got it sorted out pretty well. And with the new engine plugged in, they've really got the power they needed. And this car is fiercely competitive. It's a long time since Peter Brock's been forced into error.
Well, Rocky's back in the race, but here's the turbo Volvo. The Mark Petch entry, number 21, Robbie Francevic, the race leader in round 6, the Eurovox Trophy here at Calder. The man who is getting closer to him all the time is Jimmy Richards as they come down the back straight, the AGC straight, heading down to the Castrol S's. And Dick Johnson still holding a very, very comfortable third, clear of Neville Crichton. Alan Jones, the next one. And then back behind them, John Harvey, I believe, just ahead of Kevin Bartlett and Colin Bond.
You've called them exactly the way they are, Mike. Exactly, and that's with coming up 14 laps gone out of 60 in round 6 of the Touring Car Championship for the Eurovox Trophy here at Calder International. What a happy place this has turned out to be so far for Robbie Francevic.
62, Richards. Got your money on Richards. It's still maybe reasonably safe. He's just so tidy and so fast. With the problems that the Francevic Mark Petch crew have had over the past few days, it'll be a miracle, really, if they have a trouble-free run through this. I hope I'm not putting the bookers on it, because they certainly don't deserve that. They're coming up on Mike Minea, strong-arm kid in the Volvo. And he, of course, is doing well in the STP Rookie Awards. STP oil treatment have put up $30,000 in rookie awards for the Touring Car Championship.
Jim Keogh, I think, leads the series the award at the moment on points. But as you said, Mike Minea also scoring well, and it's a good encouragement to those guys.
Great to see Jim Keogh, grey head, going to be the oldest rookie in town.
Tim Slako from West Australia, we've seen in a couple of rounds also, has scored well on points for that STP Rookie Award.
Coming down the AGC back straight, Robbie Francevic, Jimmy Richards right in behind them. Dick Johnson getting closer all the time. Then haunting them in the background is Neville Crichton.
15 laps gone in round 6 of the Touring Car Championship, and car 21 leads. Robbie Francevic in the Volvo. In second place, car 62, the BMW, Jim Richards. Third place, 17, Dick Johnson in the Mustang.
And welcome back. Robbie Francevic continues to lead the Touring Car Championship, but look who has just dropped in under Jim Richards for second. It's Queensland's Dick Johnson. And Robbie Francevic and Richards have been having heck of a game here. They've been tapping and tapping. Johnson just caught Richards in the old trotting parlance, one out and one back, and just closed the gap, snuck through on the inside, which was something I don't think Richards appreciated. And Robbie Francevic manages to get away down the straight. Johnson still hanging in there, and Jim has now got to come back from third rather than from second.
There's a pretty good gap back to the next couple, including Crichton and Alan Jones, Mike, and I wonder whether Richards mightn't be content just to back off a little, because the pace has been pretty furious.
Well, it certainly has. The Volvo still being able to run away from his BMW down the straight. This is the awful part of the course for the BMW.
One thing that Jim Richards has proved, though, he's got the tyres to run the distance, even around Calder, which is hard on tyres.
Yes. Coming down into Low Weave Corner. Just take a look at this. This was a lap before we came back. Jim Richards putting a little tap into the side of Robbie Francevic.
But Francevic came out of it better.
And watch this, as Francevic gets out of it better, and Johnson finds the opening down on the inside, was to come back and then take over second place. That's how it happened. Francevic in car number 21, the Mark Petch Volvo, continues to lead out of Valvoline Corner. Dick Johnson of Queensland in second. Will be going to race cam with Dick a little later. And Jimmy Richards sitting back behind Johnson in car number 62.
The black BMWs, in fact, are running third and fourth on the track. Jim Richards and Neville Crichton, Alan Jones holding down fifth place. And car 05 rather, is in sixth spot. And, of course, that's John Harley.
Low Weave Corner again. Robbie Francevic in the Volvo comes out of the bend. Well, far back behind him is Dick Johnson and, of course, Jim Richards. And then you can start to see pulling them in Neville Crichton and the other BMW and Alan Jones in the Network Alpha number 27.
Try as he might, Crichton hasn't been able to get too far away from Jones either. No. Slower traffic.
There's Bob Holden, staying well to the inside of the course there, giving them all racing room. But old Bob, they come down the AGC back straight. I thought Richards might have been able to pick up Johnson a little quicker than this, but he has now, and he's putting wheels up on the curbside, so Jim wants to get on with this. He really can't afford to give Francevic a 100-metre break. He caught him up before, there was a touch, then he lost a spot as a regard in respect of position he was holding, and as you can see, Francevic is now starting to just edge away slightly from Dick Johnson. And I would say that's close enough to probably 50 metres.
Well, Francevic's quite happy to see Johnson and Richards in the rearview mirror playing cutthroat, plays right into his hands, and because he gets out of the corners before them and plants his foot in the turbo Volvo, and it's on the long straights down the front and up the back that he makes up all the ground here and has gone away. There's Keogh, the man who leads the Encouragement Award.
Once again, they come down to the Castrol S's. Francevic caught up behind a slower car momentarily. 74. Now Johnson goes the outside route. Richards will come in here and try and take him as well into Glow Weave Corner. Tyres are hanging on. And our man in the pits who's been studying this fascinating round of the Touring Car Championship is Neil Crompton.
Thank you, Mike. Fascinating it is indeed. The news from the pits with Peter Brock's problem was that he did make a driver error, in fact. He blew a left rear tyre, which in fact spun the car, as you could well see. The other news down here from the Commodore camp is, of course, Steve Masterton's problems. You may have seen some of the blue smoke haze coming out from the back of the car. That was a gearbox problem, which obviously put him out of the race, but he had a double header because he also had a flat rear left tyre. So that's what's happening down here at the moment. I can see Jim Richards getting stuck into the back of Johnson. We'll take it back to centre.